True. That's why we have to sit down and speak about the black and the brown. That's why we have to sit down and speak about the black and the brown.
Let's go. You dancing, they can't control you. Your skin is not only dark.
That's why we have to sit down and speak about the black and the brown.
You dancing, they can't control you. Your skin is not only dark.
6, 5, 1.
Goes like a trophy when Naomi's walking. She need an Oscar for that pretty dark skin.
What's up guys, it's Queen Versachi and I'm back at it again with another video. Now, before I even get into anything, like the video down there and subscribe, hit that subscribe button for more from me. As you guys know, BKCHAT London is back with season 4 after like I think like a year break or like just under a year. And like first things first, let's get into the cast. I'm really tired. If you guys notice like a lack of energy, I wanted to get this review out for you guys because I wanted to like just share my thoughts on what I thought about the episodes going forward with this season. And I'm really tired. I've been studying all day and I'm also kind of under the weather, so be proud of me for coming here for you guys. Anyways, so first things first, let's get into the cast. The only people that I recognize are Riva and B Money, who are known for bringing a lot of sense to the conversation and like being the voice of like the majority of the viewers who actually know what, like, have common sense amongst the garbage that everyone else says. That's just the first thing I noticed. Like, this episode only has 2 OGs, and like overall cast is just looking somehow. Like, someone in the comments said like, why are all these people looking like poor man's versions of like the original cast, like Gogo look alike, Esther look alike. Like, I don't necessarily think they all look alike, but like this cast is overall giving me kind of a dry vibe, and I'm honestly really disappointed in the topic. Like, this topic was very dry and basic. There's this guy who was like writing in or whatever who said that he's been with this girl for 8 months and she was like adamant on going to Afro Nation, which is this music festival I guess in Portugal, and they're in London. And so like when he got back, there was a video that leaked online of the girl's friend. It was like a sex tape kind of thing. One of the girls was like giving head to a guy, and that friend was in a relationship. And some of the guy's friends heard that his girl was potentially involved in some extracurricular activities. And so he's asking, how does he handle it? So, first things first, I think this topic is like really dry and like kind of, I feel like that's not something that you need to have a discussion about. But then again, it's BKCHAT, and a lot of these people really like to broadcast their ignorance. So you guys know me, of course your girls got notes. I know you guys can't see shit, but there's notes on this page. Anyways, so the first thing I want to say is that like this whole cast is already broadcasting their ignorance and their disloyalty from day one. Whoever that guy is, the big guy, I think his name is DG or something. Hold on, let me go to the theme song. DC is so childish, and like I like how B Money put him in his place, talking about him and Joseph or Jay, whatever he calls himself. Like, these two, any girls want to go out with these two, they're dogs, they're gonna cheat on you. They're basically proudly saying that, yo, I'm gonna cheat on you, I'm not faithful. That's not cute. Like, me and Lexi just talked about this in another video. I don't get why you think it's cool to just be like, hey, I'm gonna go out and I may act like this when I'm not around you. And the sad thing is, girls are still gonna move to them because they're conventionally attractive. And like, obviously DC has a nice, like, he's built, he has a nice body, right? So like, people are gonna move to him, are gonna be attracted to him, even though he's broadcasting himself like this. Like, I don't, like, what? It's like, we'll get into more of that kind of mentality later, but they're just screaming, like Sylvia said, toxic masculinity is just imbibed in Joseph and clearly in DC too. Like, they're clearly beta males puffing up their chests and like being proud of the fact that they're not loyal to their potential partners. Like, that's not a good look, and I don't know why that's something to be proud of or to broadcast to the world. And it's just so sad that girls will still move to you. They will still move to them. What B Money and Sylvia said made a lot of sense about, like, I don't really think that it's fair to necessarily say that going to a music festival means that you're trying to hook up. Like, when I think of people going to Coachella, I don't really hear about people going there to hook up. Or like, even here, like in Toronto, we have Caravana. I don't know of people who go there literally just to. Of course there are going to be those people particularly guys, let's be honest, we're gonna go there to try and find a ting and just find a little 1-2 hit. Like, that's what you guys are gonna try and do. No, like, at least the people I know who've been in it, gone to the parties, that's not what they go to do. So the fact that the whole question is centered around, like, my girl went there, like, should you be worried because of one person's scenario of their girl with a hoish friend? Like, and they all seem to agree that the stigma was like going there to have sex. Like, I don't, like, what? If you want to travel to have sex, like, is there just nobody in your town who's willing to hook up with you? Like, what is the thirst that you just really have to go and do that? Like, this, like, the sex hunger in this society is really disgusting, and that's just really sad, especially if you're in a relationship. That makes it 10 times worse. You got to consider 8 months is not a short relationship, so like, you've had more than enough time to feel like, to know who the person you're in a relationship with is. And if you're at the point where at the 8-month mark you are even questioning if this person is going to step out on you, you probably should leave that person, because people seem to forget, there is literally no relationship without trust. Trust is the foundation. So if there's no foundation, the relationship is going to crumble because it has nothing to stand on. Like, that's just that on that. And also, birds of a feather flock together. The whole thing was that the girl her friend had a sex tape that was released of her with another guy, and like, honestly, from personal experience, if your friends act a certain way, it'll influence you to act like them. So like, that's just, if you're gonna be like, oh, my friends do that but I don't do that, obviously there are some cases where that does happen, but especially when there's alcohol, potentially drugs in the mix, or you guys are you guys are excited on vacation, of course, like, you guys are not going to want to be that lone wolf doing nothing. Like, the way your friends think is going to influence your actions. So if everyone is seeing that one girl, the friend of that one guy's girl, acting out online, chances are the other friend wasn't just sitting in the hotel room like, just waiting till our flight tomorrow to go home. No, she was probably doing her own thing too. Like, let's just be honest with ourselves about that. If your man is hooking up abroad, he is hooking up at home too. That's just that on that. Like, nobody who's going over to have sex, of course that's going to be a thrill and experience, but they're not just doing that there. If they're talking to girls on the other side of the world, other side of the continent, whatever, they are talking to them in the same city, probably on the same street, okay? Like, nobody acts like that. Nobody acts like that. Nobody's just hitting it once over there and then going back to like their whole home life with you acting like you're fulfilling them. No, if you're not fulfilling them, you're not fulfilling them 24/7. Like, you're just, if they want to cheat, they will not just cheat once. That's what I'm saying. And but like, the thing is, still, like I said, the whole stigma around traveling to have sex, I don't agree with that. Like, I think people who are single and who are in relationships should be able to go on trips with their friends, even if it is to a music festival. Like, I don't think just because you're in a relationship you shouldn't be able to travel. Like, what is that? However, the most important thing is to know who you're in a relationship with. Like, you have to know. Like, you just have to know who you're talking, like, who you're in this with. If you're honestly, like, genuinely concerned about what your partner is gonna do when you're not there, like, first and foremost, like, everything else aside, just bring it to their attention respectfully. That's not saying go and tell them, nah, you can't go. No, nobody's gonna respond well to that. And also, you can't control them. Just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean you don't respect yourself. You have to have you first, okay? But like, just bring it to their attention respectfully and be like, you know what, it honestly makes me feel like this. And if it's for a valid reason, like, you just bring it to their attention, like, hey, like, honestly, I'm feeling kind of insecure about this. I don't really know how I feel about you going. How they react tells you everything you need to know. Watch how they move. After you tell them how you feel, watch how they move. That tells you what you need to know. What they do with that information, that's on them. You've done your part. You can't stop them from going. You can't stop them from doing that. But if you have a feeling and then you watch how they move, that's all you gotta do. Just sit tight. That's all you gotta do. Dead ass, if your man is going away and you even suspect that he will have the desire to step out on you with valid reason, like, say, from patterns that have developed or like things that you actually know for a fact about his past behavior, do yourself a favor and leave him, sis. Like, leave him. You don't need to be in that situation. You don't need to be staying up at night wondering what he's doing, like trying to contact his friends about what he's doing. Why would you want to put yourself in those situations? Like, people act like you're being forced to be in relationships with potentially unfaithful people. Like, I don't know what circle everybody's in, but not everybody acts like that. There are actually people in this world, you don't have to worry about what they're doing. birds of a feather flock together. If your man or your girl hangs out with people who are known for just being dogs and being all over the place and being hoes, don't try and get with someone in that kind of circle. Why are you putting yourself in that position? Like, don't you love yourself more than you love the idea of being with somebody? That's a discussion for another time because I have too much to say about that. But yo, what hit home with me and obviously with the niggas on the cast was when Lonnie said, when she asked guys like around Afro Nation about if they would let their girl come to Afro Nation, all of them but one said no. That said a lot. Like, that actually screamed volumes. Cheaters hate being cheated on. Like, they can't stand it, but they'll go and do it, but they can't stand it. They can't stand what they dish out. They can't eat it. They can't eat it. They know what they came to do, and they wouldn't be able to handle it if the shoe was on the other foot. They think it's a respect thing. They're like, how could you treat me like this? But they're treating you like that, and you won't leave them. So, and unfortunately, even though they're aware of this, like, they know that what they're doing is wrong, and they're not thinking about you in the moment, but they know that what they're doing is wrong, which is why they don't want their girls there. Unfortunately, that doesn't even deter their behavior. Like, that's not enough to make the average cheater change. Like, it's not, because it's a character flaw. It's not a mistake. Anyone who cheats and tells you it's a mistake, they're lying. Cheating is not a mistake. That is a character flaw, because it's a decision. You go out of your way to cheat. You go out of your way to do it. It doesn't just fall in your lap. We talked about that. Me and Lexi did. Check out our video. If you're out here being unfaithful, you're obviously gonna think that your girl is out here doing what you know you shouldn't be doing, but you're out here doing it anyway, so what's it to you? If you cheat, you don't get to say anything. It's just so simple. If you want to be single, act single. Why doesn't that click with people? Like, you don't have to be in a relationship if you want to be free to do whatever you want. Just because you want to have someone to go home to in case things don't work out, like, it's not worth it to hurt somebody else. Just be single. Like, you know what I mean? However, ladies, I know that I've ripped a lot on guys. Not ripped, but like, I know that I've said a lot about the guys, but girls, we are not off the hook too. Like, you got to take responsibility for where you come into play here, because the question did center around a girl going to Afro Nation and her friend. So girls, we're not off the hook completely either. Like, what was it? It was Castillo. I don't know how to say his name. Castillo, whatever. It was him who said that, like, if your girl is going out here flirting left, right, and center, and like, you're aware of this, maybe she has a history of flirting, and like, that's aware to your man, of course he's going to be insecure, because he doesn't know how far you're gonna take it one day. Like, he's not a mind reader. If you're out here flirting and flirting and flirting, of course, okay, let's be honest, like, sometimes flirting can be misconstrued. Sometimes you can be flirting, like, you can just be friendly, and a lot of people read it as flirting, which is really annoying. But like, when you're flirting, girls, you know what you're doing, and like, obviously that's gonna make a guy feel insecure, because it's like, why are you doing that? If you're in a relationship, guy, girl, but I'm talking to girls right now, your interest should be with one man and one man only. That is it. Like, there's actually no reason, end of story, there's no reason for you to be even pointing your interest somewhere else. Like, what was it? It was like DC who said when he, like, even if he has a girl, he'll go to Afro Nations and he'll flirt up a bit, and like, he might like move to a girl a bit, and just to make sure he still got it. And then Sylvia was like, what? Like, the fact that you have a girlfriend means you still got it. That kind of thinking is beyond me. Anyways, the bottom line is, it's really that simple. If you want to act single, stay single. You're not being forced at gunpoint to be in a relationship. Don't hurt people in the process. And like, about the whole question thing, birds of a feather flock together. If your girl's friends are acting like that, chances are she's acting like that too. That's just that on that. So don't kid yourself. Anyways, that's all I have to say for this episode. It was overall a dry topic. Even though Esther and Lucas are annoying people, I miss them in episodes because they're entertaining, and like, they say a lot of nonsense that's interesting to talk about. Like, even just reading the comments, everybody was unfulfilled, but at least we didn't have to pay for this, because nobody would pay for this with unknown faces. Hopefully the next episode of BKCHAT London will be more interesting, but Queen Versachi's out. Make sure you subscribe and like this video. Queen Versachi's out. Bye.